судьба России в значительной степени, она...
The fate of Russia largely rests in the hands of the Russian people. But now our military are at the forefront, both literally and figuratively. They are tackling crucial tasks for our country. The soldiers on the front line, along with their commanders, whom I have met, as you may have noticed, with all our units operating along the contact line. I also invited them to the Peter and Paul Cathedral at the Peter and Paul Fortress, specifically to the tombs of our sovereigns and monarchs. First and foremost, we laid flowers at the tomb of Peter I. Why? I believe it's clear, because it was Peter the Great who laid the fundamental foundations of the modern Russian state. Whether it's called the Russian Empire, the Soviet Union, or Russia today, it was Peter the Great who laid those essential foundations. Our military as a whole, including commanders and soldiers, officers on the ground, are defending what Peter the Great established and which his successors expanded. Throughout history, Russia's fate has taken different turns, growing and shrinking. Under Catherine II, she was even carved alongside Peter I. Russia achieved the largest territorial acquisitions, as is well known. In other words, we pay tribute to those who made a unique and fundamental contribution to shaping our nation. Afterwards, I met with our military colleagues, who briefed me on the situation in each sector of the front, covering their specific areas of responsibility. Following that, we shared a meal, lunch, and continued our discussion informally. It's customary to bring presents on a birthday. Did they give you a present? They gifted me various military relics, figurines, and books there, but perhaps two of them are of particular significance. One of the commanders handed me two icons that our soldiers were wearing, and these icons saved their lives. They have bullet dents on them, and they presented me with these icons as a gift. I am very grateful to them. I will definitely seek out these fighters and speak with them. Right now, taking this opportunity, as they say in such cases, I want to express my most sincere words of gratitude to them through the media. And may the Lord continue to keep them, as He has done until now. What's that? What kind of tomahawks? Well, please, go ahead. Stanislav Ivashenko, Zvezda TV channel. In Kiev, Zelensky threatens to hit Russia with tomahawks almost at the Kremlin. They even say that this is some form of showing off. I mean, blackmail. You didn't misspeak. Showing off is also here. This point is legit. There is a question in this regard. They say that the Americans claim it all depends on whether they will hand over the tomahawks or not. It all depends on Russia's negotiating stance on Ukraine. And if they are not satisfied with our negotiating position, they will hand them over. Is our response to this prepared? Our response is to strengthen the air defense system of the Russian Federation. As already known, you proposed extending the Strategic Offensive Arms Limitation Treaty, which is set to expire soon in February 2026. Judging by the initial statements coming out of Washington, US President Donald Trump seems to be not against it. Are there any signals through closed channels that Washington is indeed ready to engage in such consultations? Will 4 months be enough to conduct all this? And am I correct in understanding that a new personal meeting with your American counterpart will be required? Thank you. We have contact through the Russian Foreign Ministry and the US State Department. Is a few months enough to make a decision on extension? I think it will be enough if there is goodwill towards extending these agreements. If the American side decides they do not need it, it is not critical for us at all. We are following our plan in this regard. I have already talked about this, and it is no secret. The novelty of our nuclear deterrence means is higher than that of any other nuclear state, and we are developing all this very actively. What I talked about in previous years is all developing. We are perfecting it, and I think we will have the opportunity to announce the creation of new weapons we once talked about. They are emerging. We are conducting tests, and they are successful. Regarding the intercontinental component at sea and in the air, I repeat, the novelty and modernity, as the military say, are at a very high level. We are maintaining it. We are ready to negotiate if it is acceptable and beneficial for the American side. If it isn't, never mind. But it would be a pity because then nothing would remain concerning deterrence in the field of strategic offensive arms.
Современность, как говорят военные, у нас очень на высоком уровне.
Tying the Nobel Peace Prize to arms supplies is absurd and simply reflects the overall level of the current Kiev regime.
Американской стороны.
You mentioned that one of the countries is preparing to test nuclear weapons. Could you tell us, is this country the US? If, as you said, Russia provides a symmetric response and also tests nuclear weapons, will this not throw our countries and all humanity back to the 1990s when the whole world refused to test nuclear weapons? And will it not provoke a new nuclear race between Moscow and Washington? Thank you.
Я думаю, что на самом деле, если говорить по-честному.
I think, to be honest, that a certain race is indeed ongoing. Whether it will throw us back or not is hard to say. But I did not say that the US is preparing to test nuclear weapons. I said that some countries are preparing for testing. But this is also well known to specialists because there is always a temptation to check the efficiency of the warhead fuel, which has been stored in missiles for many years. This is all simulated on computers, and specialists think it is enough. But some of these specialists believe that natural tests should be conducted. And some countries, as far as we know, are even preparing for it. So, I said that if they conduct tests, then we will do the same. Is it good or bad? From the standpoint of ensuring security, it is good. From the general picture standpoint, related to deterrence, actions aimed, if not at reducing, then at restraining the arms race, it is probably not bad. But in this context, we propose to extend New START for at least a year.
We spoke with President Trump during our last meeting in New York. We spoke about not only about Tomahawks. So we spoke about, said about HIMARSs, and I said about ATACMS. So really, you know, when you have, for example, but basically when you have, you know, 30, 50 or 60 ATACMS between us, it's nothing. I know what I say because when we use, for example, per day 130, 150 hour drones of our production, or when we can have to collect and we can have 300 or 350, and when you have during long period of time, for example, 30 or 50 ATACMS, just for the long period of time, it's nothing. That's why if, you know, partners says that we help you with long distance, we help you with ATACMS, in my opinion, it means, you know, 10 times more than they give you. It's to my mind. That's why if you want to have something and when you want to understand and see real effect, you have to provide, to deliver the number which can give you this effect. Not just, you know, marketing, not just to say, okay, we gave.
Тративши на це мільярди гривень, відомо, що багато.
You know, I'm trying my best. I'm very open with President Trump, and I think you saw it. Yes, I'm not finding some specific diplomatic way how to speak, and I really count on his pressure because he has this power. He has this power, pressure on Putin. Pressure on Putin not to attack us by missiles, not to attack us by drones. And you see, I think that that President Trump has success now in Gaza.
Be part of Pearl and all those arrangements. And secondly, can I ask you?
Of course we know, and of course we think, and of course we wish Israeli people and Palestinian people, we wish not to have a war, of course. And I hope that they're really very close to peace negotiations, peace deal. I wish them. It's good. It's good. That's why I think that President Trump has this pressure and has all these possibilities. And I hope he will use all the instruments, Tomahawks, sanctions, diplomatic way, financing way, tariffs, everything to stop Putin. As I said, with all respect to Kir and to people of UK, so you helped us a lot, but now we need strong partners to join Pearl. Otherwise, other leaders will not join. or we'll do it slowly. And of course, Kyiv is a good signal. UK is a good signal if Kyiv will decide to join to Pearl. For us, it's air defense.
Путін, очевидно, користується моментом, коли
Vladimir Putin is obviously taking advantage of the moment when the world is focusing almost all its attention on the possibility of establishing peace in the Middle East. Most countries in the world, all key leaders, have focused their attention on what is happening there. And this is indeed a good chance to achieve real peace after so many victims in that region. And this is a new record of Russian cowardice, to intensify terrorist attacks at such a moment, to strike at the lives of our people. Last night alone, there were almost 500 drones in multiple waves. About 200 of them were shards as well as 32 missiles, most of which were ballistic. There can be only one response to this, and that is more force, more air defense to protect our critical infrastructure, and more pressure on Russia to make them truly accountable for everything they do. All day long, recovery efforts have been underway after the Russian strike. There is a lot of work. Electricity has now been restored to more than 725,000 families. Kiev, the Kiev region, the Dnipropetrovsk region, the Kirovograd region, Cherkasy, Chernihiv. The situation in the Sumy region remains difficult. Also in Kharkiv, Kherson, and Donetsk regions, due to the security situation, repairs are complicated. During the day, there were new drone attacks, shelling, and new air raid alerts. Work is still ongoing in the capital. Where needed, energy companies have established electricity schedules. Kiev and the Kirovohrad region worked throughout the day to restore water supply. In Kiev, it has almost been restored, and in the Kirovograd region pumps are being started up and the network is being filled. The task for all our regions is to prepare sufficient backup power for water utilities. This has already been done in some communities, and it must be done in places where we currently see the relevant problems.
завдання для всіх наших областей.